So I need to share this with you because of the time we live in. Right now, the world is ascending to a much higher level. We're in 2020 now, and as the Earth ascends, the divider or the veils between the dimensions is becoming more thin. The three-dimensional space that we live in, the length, width, and height, there is a divider there between these three dimensions and the fifth dimension. The fourth dimension is time, past, present, and future. The veil or divider between between mortals and the fifth dimension is breaking down. It's been doing this gradually for years, for hundreds of years, past 8 years especially. But now, especially as we've moved into 2020, we are moving up to a much higher level. And as such, this is one of the reasons I need to share this with you. The interactions with the other sides, the other dimensions, the other realms is becoming more, it's increasing. As that happens, people are going to be having these experiences that they may not understand, or it may freak them out, and they're like, what do I do with that? Like interacting with deceased loved ones, or seeing things that just like freak them out, and they don't know what to do with that. So in this really short video, I'll do a longer one later, I'm going to talk about what's called the duality meditation. The duality meditation is when you consciously go into the other dimension, preferably on demand, where you stretch out of your physical body with your etheric body. You stretch out, you stay connected in your hypothalamus, but your spirit or your etheric body can then have an experience that you are totally conscious of, totally lucid with. And then you can come back to the experience, go back into your body and do it safely. I'm going to have more on that in my classes and on the online course. And I call it a duality experience, but you don't actually separate. You are still very connected. You are conscious, even though you're more in your subconscious or even in your spirit self. You have an experience. It needs to be a positive experience, preferably. A lot of people have their dreams. Nightmares could be an experience in the other dimensions. In a low frequency state, you want to have these in a high frequency state. So I'm going to give you kind of some other little details in my upcoming videos. This is more about how to do the duality experience. Like I said, because of the time we live in. Because if you can do this experience, preferably on demand, and this is happening for the whole world, without them knowing it, then you can then help other people. When they're freaking out because it's a scary thing or a frightful thing, you can say, no, it's okay. This is what's happening. Here's some precautions, here's some things you want to be aware of, how to do this safely, and then when you do have the experiences, it's a positive thing. It needs to be in gratitude and love and joy instead of fear and ego and pride and anything negative. So it's called a duality meditation. If you want to know more about it, look up the book, Awakening Spirits by Tom Brown Jr. is a good one. There's also some other ones. Joe Dispenza talks about it in some of his books. It's not astral planing. Astral planing is a little more like when you totally separate and you have your experience and then you try to come back. This is a similar thing but different in it's a lot safer. You don't actually separate, but you're out here having your experience in time and space. It's a lot more controlled and it's a lot more beneficial too. So I'm going to give you I'm going to kind of show you some things about that and then give you greater information in a further video. So. So once you get in and start having the duality experience and you get into the other dimensions, it's going to kind of feel different because your five senses won't be the same. For example, being able to see sound or hear color or taste light. You're going to be having these experiences. They don't need to make sense. In fact, they probably won't make sense. But look for the symbolism and the imagery, and then just make a note of it. If you feel a lot of emotion, That's okay. Acknowledge them as well, because remember, you're not the emotion that you feel. You're not even the thoughts that you think. Hope you found this enjoyable. If you like this, hit like below. If you have any questions, put them down below and we'll get back with you on them. And thank you for your time.